Welcome, everyone, to the Monday group call. I am Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of SpeakerFocus.com, here with the one and only Mr. Auston Troyer, putting it down like only we can on the Monday group call, here to answer any and all questions pertaining to growing your speaker brand. I want to welcome everybody from all over the world. I love it when the platform gets bigger. We are doing business with people all over the world. We're having people on board from the Gold Coast to Australia, from Sweden, from Denmark, from South Africa, Amsterdam, New Zealand. Oh, the business is growing nicely, and we want to thank all of you for your worldwide participation. Shout out to everybody who is dropping some messages in the chat box right now. Appreciate all the love. Lisa is headed to Albuquerque from Santa Fe. We appreciate you. Lisa, thanks so much for the nice comments that you left last week, or a couple days ago, actually, that you couldn't make last week's group call and you went back and looked at the replay. Auston and the tech team are really diligent about getting those group calls up right after they complete, like the very next day. And the reason why is because it's such a great library of content there that we're producing every single week. And, by no means could we do it by ourselves. So we definitely appreciate all who are attending the group calls and the comments and the feedback. Keep the support tickets coming in. We love answering all of your questions. Let me go back to the chat box real quick and see if there's anybody else in there. No. Okay, well, you know the drill. If you have a question or comment or concern, by all means, use the raise hand feature in the chat box and we will get to you. Let's jump into our first question. Miss Anita Yarborough. Hey, Anita, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I feel amazing. Had a really, really great weekend and a very awesome, long Monday, but very good day. How about yourself?
Blessed. Had a passing in my family, but I'm still doing my best.
Okay.
And I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to really help me. I really appreciate your diligence. I understand that you're a very busy man, and I can say you went above and beyond, and I really do appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome, and you're worth it too. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm glad that you're referring to the last time I sent your signature programs back, and
Yeah.
you kind of spruced them up a little bit for it. Yeah, I was just trying to provide you a little bit of direction so you could, give it put the final touches on it so you could just, move on past it. I didn't want you to be frustrated about it anymore, because you have great messaging and you were almost there. So I'm glad that you like what I did to it.
I really did.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, okay, first in module 2, I noticed as I was studying yesterday, I got to the portion where it's where you have the value-based proposition and the managing objections. It
Yes.
was the same information labeled for course 19. They both was labeled course 19.
Okay.
Was that meant to be?
Are you talking about on the one of the worksheets, or are you talking about the actual video module?
The actual video module. It was
Yeah.
both the same, even though they were labeled differently. One was labeled value-based proposition, the other one was labeled managing objections, and they
Yeah.
were both labeled course 19. Was that meant to be?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of mistakes here and there where some stuff is maybe labeled the same way in the curriculum. We always upgrade the curriculum. It's going to be another change coming in the near future. So sometimes we do make a mistake here and there, but it's not gonna alter anything as far as how you learn everything. If it's right there clustered together, just focus more on the content than the way it's labeled.
Okay, because I was going to ask, so because I didn't get the answer to that question about managing objections. Should I wait until you revise it?
Oh, no. I mean, objections are objections, and those are going to happen throughout the sales cycle. Um, what I'd say do first is make sure you focus on the exercises of completing the sales tools, going over your checklist for the website and the speaker info kit. Now I
Mhm.
know I did send you back some feedback on your speaker info kit. Did you get that today, by the way?
I did, and I replied and I just said thank you for the feedback.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, definitely.
I did it on purpose with the little design, but the other stuff is what I was really hoping you give me some feedback on, because I know I listed in my signature programs because I didn't have a lot of pictures, but I said, well, let me put in my NLP certifications to see if
Right.
that was okay to insert in there.
Oh,
But-
absolutely. Absolutely. And
Okay.
that's why I told you your credentials are amazing, just like, most people on our platform, and a lot of people, excuse me, they don't give themselves enough credit with their work history or their credentials. A lot of people get caught up in, well, I don't have any, I don't have a lot of speaking engagements. So therefore it's going to hurt my resume. The fact of the matter is that if you've been working, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, like a lot of people on our platform, you have accomplished a lot. And the place to showcase it is in the speaker info kit. That's where you're going to put all of your professional credentials in chronological order. As you can see, when you go over the checklist, it allows you to put those things in there. Your professional distinctions, your degrees, awards, citations, certifications, commendations. This thing looks like an ESPN highlight reel of everything you've done in your professional career. And you should be proud to put that in there. The speaker info kit is the only place where you really get a chance to brag on yourself, and you put everything in there that you've been able to accomplish. So despite the design issue that I gave you some feedback on, your credentials are amazing. And you should put all of that stuff in there. And anything you can find that looks high profile, that what it does, Anita, is it takes away the thought of people having to ask questions about why we need to hire you. Of course, you want to put the certifications in there. It shows people that you work hard to maintain the integrity of your professional distinction. And that's now, Anita, you're starting to understand now as you're into module number 2. There's a method to the madness that we have at speakerfocus.com.
Mhm.
Notice how that there was a space in there to copy and paste your signature programs, right? In
Right.
the speaker info kit. But why do you think we had you do that first? Because you can't just go and design the speaker info kit if you don't have what? Signature program page, which
Yeah.
is number 1. The second page was what? The bio.
Yeah.
The third page was breaking out each one of the signature programs individually with all those bullets. And after this program, you're going to be able to see. This is why when people start trying to create their own formula, this formula works. And if you take the steps the right way without overthinking or out trying to advance too fast, if you finish one assignment at a time, complete the videos, jump back into the assignments, action, 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 eventually you're going to be staring at module 5. Austin's going to be taking you to school on how to connect the dots to get the money. That's what we really, really want to do with you. And that's the reason why we're so committed to helping you out throughout this process. So, I appreciate the patience on your end as well, because I know that a lot of times when, this is psychologically, this is how this works, especially with your subconscious mind. Yeah, I've been studying the cognitive science, the study of the human mind for over 30 plus years. And
Mhm.
your subconscious mind works like this. Anything that's not familiar to your current database of knowledge, your brain automatically tries to kick it out. It says, that doesn't belong in here. We're not comfortable with that. We don't know that. And we criticize things we don't understand. It's a very natural feeling. Through
Right.
the art and science and skill of repetition, your subconscious mind says, okay, by the time you see it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, your subconscious mind says, oh, okay, that's not, that doesn't look different anymore. That feels a little bit more comfortable. I got over the initial shock. I got over the emotions. I got over being angry about it, being frustrated. Look at you now, Anita. Let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
How are you feeling about where you are in the program now that you're on the other side of your signature programs?
I'm feeling it's making sense because it's like as I was going through the second module and I was like, wow, he is a genius. He had us to do this first. And I said, you know what? I love it. And then I'm gonna tell you, I was on Instagram and I saw a young lady trying to do the same thing that you're doing, recruit people to teach them this. And I'm looking, of course, you're not supposed to look at people's age, but I'm like, no, I think I'm with the right person because I love how he broke down this program, and I loved how you even recruited me because it was so different. Because I know on Instagram she's doing a commercial, and
Mm,
I'm like, nah, I, I like how you approached me, how you sent me an email, and instead of putting up a commercial,
hmm.
it's like it allowed me to just instantly decide whether or not, okay, he sent me an email. This was something that I really wanted to do. And a
Right.
lot of times, a lot of people, and I can't speak for a lot of people. I just speak for myself. I don't respond to commercials,
Hmm.
but I do respond to emails.
Hmm.
And again, how I feel about it, I feel pumped.
Hmm.
I feel like ready. I mean, I've even started doing, um, research on how to do a curriculum because I remember in module 2 you were speaking about curriculums.
Right.
So I'm so passionate about this. I'm pumped. I'm even more motivated and ready to go.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Designing curriculum is a vital part of you developing a strong speaking career. Facilitation and having knowledge transfer skills and being a real teacher is really important in this industry. I talked last week, I talked a long time about serving other people, and that's how you really generate wealth in the speaking industry. If you're going to be in the golden triangle system of speaking, coaching, and consulting, and a lot of people on our platform, they do all three. A lot of people are now adding the speaking piece as part of their golden triangle system. So, it's I'm glad that it's starting to click and the dots are starting to connect. And this is a lot of trial and error. And by no means am I able to put this together, myself. I'm just taking the pages out of my playbook of what I learned being on tour for 35 years and interacting with these conference coordinators and making a lot of mistakes. I mean, a lot of mistakes,
Mhm.
horrific mistakes in the beginning. So if I in some way make it easier for you, then I've done my job and it was worth the investment. And we want to get you to the money, and we're going to get you to the money, but it just has to be built the right way first. So thanks for taking the time to go through the process and for all the kind words. And I know those words come from a real place. See, this is Anita, this is why I don't make it easy on anybody. I'm the same way from the beginning with everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your age is. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care about your professional distinction. You're not paying me to baby you. I have got to tell the brutal and honest truth. That's going to allow you to get better. And now you're to the point now where you're inside of creating the sales tools, and that when that's done the right way, you're not going to have to say anything. The conference coordinator can read the value in your messaging and your sales tools, and you're gonna be in a leveraged position. And that's what we want for you, is to have leverage, because when you don't have any leverage, now the conference coordinator is just smacking you around, giving you whatever they want you to have. So let me make my last point, because you're dealing with objections and rebuttals, and I do have a PDF document that I provided in there of how to do that.
Right.
So you do want to be able to handle objections, and the best way to handle an objection, the first word out of your mouth is going to be great. Example, conference coordinator says, well, Anita, your fees are too high. Great. A lot of conference coordinators have budgetary issues and things of that nature, but I want to help you understand something, is that I believe early in my needs assessment call, you said that you were having a high turnover issue with your millennials. On average, their salary is $50,000. Do you realize it takes 3 times the salary to replace that person walking out the door? You said you had 20 people going in and out.
Mhm.
You're losing 20 people a month. That's $1 million worth of lost revenue. That's really $3 million worth of lost revenue. Now, you said that you had some budget concerns. Well, you don't want to pay me $5,000 for 1 hour to give you some strategies that are concrete to help you stop hemorrhaging $3 million. I don't know about you. I spend $5,000 every single day if I had to stop losing $3 million a month.
Exactly. I like that.
You see, this is how you deal with rebuttals. And the conference coordinators, like anybody else, Anita, they have a budget. You're asking them to separate themselves from their money. Now, a lot of these conference coordinators, they act like the money is theirs. They act like it's their personal money, not the company's money. They're gatekeepers. They're just doing their job.
Right.
So the more you know how to handle objections, the better you are at managing the sales cycle. You're going to have them eating out of your hand. It's about influence, and it's about leverage. When your sales tools and your messaging show the fact that you are a professional of the first order, that's going to give you all the leverage. Then the influence comes by them reviewing all the sales tools and the messaging, and you don't have to do a lot of talking because the sales tools are so impressive. And that's why I told you, you had great credentials. Now you got some alignment and design issues with your speaker info kit. So whenever that happens, you got to put it in the hands of a professional. What we don't want to do, we don't want to take the chance on designing it ourselves and it not looking at the best that it can look to get it in front of that conference coordinator, because that's when you got to let all the sales tools do the talking. You got it?
Right. One last question.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I hope I don't look stupid or sound stupid saying this, but what do you mean, or help me understand what the sub niche is all about? What do you? Because I know you said a niche and then a sub niche.
Yeah, you have niches and sub niches. You have markets and sub markets. Let's say the entertainment industry is a market, but inside of the entertainment industry, you have ballet, you have theater, you have you have rap.
Oh, okay.
See, those are all sub niches. And then you, like, a lot of times you have maybe a micro niche where it's really a small market, but it's a big pool of money in the small market. For instance, we have a lot of fitness trainers on our platform. But inside of the fitness thing is huge. That's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But inside of fitness, sometimes you have these people with really, really micro niches. Like, watch this. I just talked to a lady today. She's going to join our coaching program next week. She helps women with disability that have Lou Gehrig's disease. See, so she's in the mental wellness space, spiritual alignment, but she specifically works with women who have Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. I've never heard of anybody niching down like that, but she has a passion for it because she's into these natural remedies, and it's helped her get her ALS under control, and they don't even have a cure for it. So you see, that's a niche within a niche.
Oh, okay. So like what? Because I know when you was helping me with mine, I noticed you kept. I said, okay, I see. He thinks I'm doing the career thing, but mine is more holistic, which deals with natural healing, or holistic deals with balance and harmony and
Right.
A part of the whole. So okay, I get it now.
You get it. See, I know that's confusing for a lot of people. They think that, see, if you put your niche and your professional expertise right up front, and you try to push it on the conference coordinator, and it's not a good match, then you're going to get some friction. Leadership is the easier pill to digest for the conference coordinator. Oh, okay, I know what Anita is. Okay, Anita, she's a leadership speaker. Let me find out what she specializes in. See, they're bringing you in for the leadership speaker first, then for the backstory, then your level of, expertise, then your niche. See, all of that stuff is secondary. First thing is what's going to get you through the door is leadership.
Right. I got
So
it.
we're teaching you how to match your expertise to the right target market, to get in front of the right target buyer, who is the gatekeeper, who is going to then give you permission to put your message and your story in front of the right target audience. You got it?
Got it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
You're very welcome, Anita. Thank you for the patience. And You know, we believe in you and we love you and we want to see you successful. Just keep submitting those support tickets and keep growing. You got through the hardest part. The hardest part is the messaging for a lot of people on this platform. At least 75% of our students struggle with the messaging, and that's why we deal with that first. You got that pain out the way now. You can take a little sigh of relief, but jump into the sales tools, and you're going at a very nice pace right now for a person who has a full schedule. So I'm very proud of you, and you don't quit, and that's what it takes. It takes resilience to work through the frustration. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. This is not what I'm asking you to do. It's difficult, but it's not impossible.
Right.
And you are a shining example of what happens when you don't quit and you keep your head down and get the work done.
Yeah, I appreciate your patience as well, because, if it wasn't for you, I probably would have lost my patience, but I really do appreciate your patience as well. You're a very patient person, even though you kick butt, but it's with love.
Yeah, and it's out of respect, and it is, and I appreciate the fact that you recognize that even before we start working together. I told you what this was going to be, and it's my responsibility to make sure that you know. And me and Austin take a lot of pride in the platform that we put together. By no means could I have ever done this by myself. He makes it possible for me to do what I do, just like I make it possible. We both give each other the autonomy and the leverage to be able to work together and get along, so we can present to you what you're supposed to do, so you don't have to go through the same type of pain that I had to go through. It's bad enough that you feel the way you felt right now with the frustrations with overcoming the signature programs, but I don't want you to have to take it on the chin the way I did, because it's just not necessary. If I had better mentorship, boy, I could have saved myself a whole lot of tears and frustration. But some of us got to learn the hard way to make it easy on everybody else, and it's a pleasure for me to do it.
Well, again, thank you.
Talk to you real soon. You're very welcome. Okay, we have some. Uh, let me see. Oh, Allison has her hand raised. Allison, I'll be right with you. I want to acknowledge a couple people that were in the chat box. Allison from the UK, she just joined our coaching program. She is taking one for the team right now because it's late where she is. Let me see. Lisa, I'll get to your question in the chat box. I see Alex got a question in the chat box, and Michelle Arnold. I'll be right with all of you. Let me start with, okay, Allison, good evening. Good evening to you. I'll be right with you, Allison. Just give me a sec. Okay, Lisa saying, Kev, the video numbers are all off starting right around video 19 in module number 2. Wow, okay. Again, sometimes when we upgrade the modules, sometimes the worksheet and the module, sometimes it's a little bit off, and I take responsibility for that. So we're always upgrading the modules, and if the number count is a little bit off, don't worry about it. With the lesson, the content is there, and the content is the content is the content. Okay, if the video number doesn't match something, don't worry about that. The content is still what it's supposed to be. Alex, okay, jumping on the call saying, hey, KTR, hey, Austin, thanks for the feedback on the takeaways. They have been revised and gathering more feedback from our target market. Yeah, thanks again, no problem. Yeah, Alex, you're right there, but always remember, when you're creating bullets for your target buyer is the conference coordinator, meeting or event planner, chair, board, or committee member, some key decision maker. It will be a really good idea to do a proper needs assessment. The way to solve a problem is find out what the problem is first. Then your signature programs will be able to remedy those particular challenges. So in a case where you are, in a case where you're creating bullets when they did a request for speakers, or they want like a proposal or something, every once in a while you have to go through and customize something for that specific target audience. I remember I used to send over sheets, and whenever I would be up for consideration for a speaking engagement, I would say, hey, Kevin T. Robertson will set your next conference or corporate event on fire. And I did a little promo graphic for them. And I had me with a microphone with some flames behind me, because I wanted to let them know that, hey, I'm there to literally set your next conference or corporate meeting and event on fire. So I also talked to some of the people that was on the board or committee And it really helped out a lot that they literally gave me all the answers to the test. See, if you're smart, you will call the conference coordinator, you will call the organization, you will go to their website. It is so worth doing research. And then I guarantee you the signature programs that Trevor has is gonna match. It's only literally, Alice, it's only about maybe 25 to 50 areas that they can operate in. Everybody's dealing with the same problem. So it's so easy to solve these problems, and because your signature programs literally has a remedy for all 25 to 50 of those challenges. All of these conference coordinators and meeting planners are struggling and suffering with the same exact challenge. It's all going to be under the category of leadership, management, team building, conflict management, organizational skills. These are all soft skills that you need as a speaker. This is why I'm certified to teach over 100 soft skill topics in the workplace, because I did research and figuring out every single thing that's possibly wrong, that could go wrong. I understand corporate infrastructure. I understand how to connect all the dots. Now, if you do that through your signature programs, there's medicine in your message. And these conference coordinators will be all over you like white on rice. They cannot wait to find your check for $5,000 and hand it over to you because you're dripping with value. Forget that motivational bullshit and all this fluffy inspirational stuff. You want to look at that? Fine. Go to YouTube. You can get 80% of the stuff that's on YouTube. You can look at that all day long. But our students have real value in their messaging. And that's why you're going to blow up and be so successful, because you understand that. Do the extra work and do the research. Now, okay, Alex, I do see your hand up. I'll be right with you. I'm going to go to Allison in the UK right after this. And Michelle, hey, Michelle, nice to see you on the call again. Michelle Arnold, miss you. I haven't seen you on a group call in a while. I know you've been busy. Okay, let me go to Allison Butters. Allison, how are you?
Hello, Kevin. Great session. Thank you. I'm really well. How are you?
I'm doing super fantastic. Allison, every time I hear your voice, it absolutely brightens up my day. What time is it in the UK where you are?
It is 23:29. But it's about personal leadership and commitment. And I said to you when we had our conversation that you've got to put in that work. And if you don't do the work and you're not committed and you don't take that responsibility, you're not going to progress. So absolutely. I'm here.
Thanks for taking one for the team. And I know it's pretty late where you are. What question can I answer for you tonight?
Yeah, it was Anita's question that prompted it. So I thought it'd be best to sort of clarify now. I'm working through module 1 at the moment. But Anita, the chronology of your resume, your CV, as we'd say in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
So basically in a nutshell, I am 2/3 of a lawyer. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it would be how to put that down on my resume, because in the UK, there's 3 elements to qualifying to be a solicitor or a lawyer. Okay. I only did 2 of those. So would that have any potential negative connotations? And I'm not expecting an immediate answer now, and I'm not putting the cart before the horse, but mm-hmm. I thought if I come on to module 2, I've already ironed out a bump in the road, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. And guess what? And your professional credentials are a very vital part of laying the foundation to establish credibility, so you have to do less talking later. So what I would do is, number one, I would stick to the facts. Okay, mm-hmm. So if you have the Juris Doctorate degree or whatever it is, and you finished, great. If you went to year number 2 and you had to stop for whatever reason, and you don't actually have the degree, but you have the knowledge and the skill set, that still fits in as part of your professional distinction. I wouldn't leave it out. I don't believe you're going to have any legal ramifications of stating that you have skill in the area of law. You could just generalize it and say that, well, what area were you specializing in, by the way, when you were studying?
It wasn't commercial law. The areas of law that I studied were asylum, immigration, and mental health. Well, those are the ones I practiced. I studied basically non-commercial law.
Okay, well then guess what? What you can do is say, watch this. Like in my resume, as you see the example in there, it says Kevin has studied over a number of years. Kevin is skilled and studied in the areas of cognitive science, marketing, branding, communication, You see?
Yeah.
I didn't say I had a specific a degree or anything like that, but the fact of the matter is that if you have that as part of your professional credentials, then I want you to put it in there. That's why I ask you the questions first, and then you convert the questions into paragraphs in the third person, right? And then send it to support@speakerfocus.com. Let me take a look at it. A lot of people do get caught up too, Allison, on, well, I don't have a lot of speaking experience. That's a big question that pops up on our platform a lot. And it's not about speaking experience. It's about your work history and the things that you've done. What we're teaching you how to do is put your credentials in chronological order so that you don't have to do any talking. Now, how are you coming along with your signature program template, by the way?
Yeah, it's getting there. I think I'm formulating it and I'm starting to drill down on more granular detail. That
Good.
chunking down, I know it's there for a purpose and it's really good. I think I was a bit broad and it's getting there now. So it's not quite finished, but I'm processing a lot. And I think once I've reflected a little bit, it'll start to take a lot more shape.
Absolutely. I believe one of your signature programs should be called Sunshine-Based Leadership, because every time I talk to you, it feels like the sun is rising.
Well, thank you, Kevin. If I get a trademark, I'll take you out for dinner when I come over. So yeah,
Hey,
we'll sort that out.
no problem. Listen, as soon as stuff settles down a little bit, we're gonna be doing a lot of traveling, me and Austin. So we got a lot of clients in your area. So I'll see you when we cross the pond, and you just keep doing a great job. You know, we love to have people of your professional distinction on our platform because you know you are a hard worker and you epitomize what we're all about. People like you are a great fit for our platform because when you put two businesses that come together and both of them have the same goal, which is working hard and serving other people. And Allison, you're just dripping with that kind of benefit. I can't wait to read your signature programs. Remember, you want to take your ideology and your approach to life and the way you operate in your coaching program and that beautiful conversation that we had the very first time. You want to capture the very essence of who you are in that. And that's what you should work on. Don't overthink it. Watch this. All I want you to do is tell the facts. Who you are inside. Just give me the facts of what that is, and we'll help you put the polish on it and make it shine like a diamond so you can move on to module number 2 and start working on your sales tools, okay?
Thank you so much, Kevin. That has given me such clarity, and I'd like to express gratitude for Anita as well for prompting that question. So it's great to be here, and thank you so much. And I wish everybody a creative, outstanding week.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. We'll be talking to you real soon. Okay, we're gonna move to Alex next. Let me see. I love it. I love it when people take the speaking business serious, man. It warms my heart when you have people that are willing to take their passion and then take the time. Alex, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, what's going on, boss?
Hi, pretty good. I just appreciate Anita's question too, and I guess like the prompting is because we're, as you know, we're pretty far along in the program. So anyone who's like just starting off, if you're like module 1 and 2, definitely pay attention to the speaking tools and stuff because it really helps out. I'm to the stage where I'm talking to like multiple coordinators, and they really appreciate the language. So all we have to do is like, you know, tailor a few words here and there to make it work. So Kevin, I've been doing what you've been saying is like doing the research and talking to the coordinators and trying to find where their pain struggles are and how I can use Trevor to accommodate those, and actually pretty work because we had like I said in our call, like we had someone reach out to us from Australia to give a virtual keynote, and they were tailored and they loved it perfectly, and then they actually reached out to us today to book Trevor for next year as well. So,
okay, good. Now, what fee range is that on with that organization?
The fee range is based on our our range in the United States. So whatever we're charging here, they're doing the equivalent, but in Australian dollars.
Okay.
In Australia. But they'll be paying the international fee because they're trying to have him be there in person due to
Okay.
like lockdowns and stuff like that was happening over there right now.
Okay, now let me be real clear. Okay, so you're talking his keynote range is 5,000 USD for the 1 hour or any portion of 1 hour.
Exactly.
7,500 for the half day program and 10K for the full day program, which is 4 to 8 hours. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what they're engaging him on what level now? They want him for an hour, half day, or full day program?
Half day for next year.
Half day. Okay, so you're going with the all the fees double on an international fee, and they're okay with that?
Well, they've been trying to be flexible with it, and I was going back to your module about ways that you can be adaptive. So for example, like if they're recording the session, if they're streamlining, if they're doing any video, if they're like waiving a booth. So for example, they're waiving our booth fee at the conference so we can sell Trevor's products there. So that's the way we've been able to accommodate that kind of stuff.
Got you. So in other words, the top end fee for the half day program may not be 15K, but if they come back with 10 or 12, they're accommodating with a booth, and you're going to the speaker negotiated menu so you can gain some value for the money that you're losing off of the fee. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And listen, Alex, this is why we love you, Woody, and Trevor. And I know you do the grunt work. I know you're running all the back end and everything. And bro, you guys had a massive amount of success. You working with Oprah and the other things that you've done in media, the awards that you've won, the things that Woody and Trevor have done. I mean, a very sound business model. And Trevor is just amazing at what he's done. And clearly he has the right kind of product. And now, going into this, you've done everything we've ever asked you to do. And when you jump on the group calls and you share this information, it helps tremendously with other people who were struggling with the same thing. So thank you for, giving those words of encouragement to other students who are going through module 1 and 2 with the messaging. You see why it's so important to get the messaging right?
Yeah, most definitely. And this is not just, I didn't, KTR did not reach out to me saying like, oh, can you talk about module 1 and 2? I'm just like, as a student who went through the same process, I went back. I guess keeping that communication of your progress with Austin and Kevin is also pretty important too. Just to, because they can also give you ideas, and that's what happened with us. Like we had original 4 different signature programs, completely different. We're ready to go, and then we had to switch them, and I had to go back with Kevin and Austin and be like, okay, is the wording right? Marketing tools correct? Could I go this direction or this direction? So definitely, definitely go through each module, even, and then take notes. And, you might be some cases where like me, I have to go back to get like a few pointers, like I just shared, like the negotiation stage, for example, which stuff to, accommodate. So.
Correct. And Alex, real quick, make sure you keep us informed about, the fees that you're negotiating on. And, because all of these things are learning lessons as you grow your speaker business, especially as, you're doing international business. And it's good that they want to work with you and they understand that the fee is double and the reason why. Remember, his signature programs are his brand was strong coming into the program, but it's even stronger now, and it helps you do your job a whole lot easier now that you are requesting those fees. You had to substantiate and justify the value through the messaging and the sales tools, and all the outreach documents now make it easier for you to manage the back end when you're talking to these conference coordinators. Tell me a little bit about your outreach process and how many coordinators are you reaching out to on a week-to-week basis? Because it's a numbers game.
It is a numbers game. So I've been trying, I guess Austin did on the call like a few weeks ago, talking about, you got to reach that number of like 30 or more or something a day. So I've been doing it. And then from that, at least 10 get back to me pretty quickly, saying like, some
Good.
have a 48-hour turnaround, some have a 12-hour turnaround, some's coming for like a week, depending on the time date.
Right.
I guess like the other thing I should also add that's been really, really helpful is the pre-questionnaire.
The pre-programmed questionnaire. Right.
The pre-programmed questionnaire. So and that's where they pick up that's when the coordinator would be like, oh, wow, you really are invested in our conference or summit or symposium or whatever you're trying to put together, workshop.
Yes. Yes.
And really understanding where they're coming from, where their struggles are, and where you can accommodate that.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up about the pre-programmed questionnaire. Again, what happens is your company now is being viewed by the conference coordinator. The only person in our ecosystem that matters, Alex, is the person who controls the money.
Right.
You're not just look like you're going for a money grab.
No.
Now the Trevor Romaine company looks like a company because this is what you guys are. I knew this from the beginning when I first talked to Woody. Then Woody put me in contact with Trevor, and then all of a sudden, you came into the fold, and it's a collaborative effort. So now you're not looking like a person who's going for the money grab. You're looking like the professional that you are, and you're looking like the person who actually gives a damn about what's happening with the constituency and the membership of their organization, which is all they care about. So that's really important. So that pre-programmed questionnaire, it breaks down every single question. What's the ratio of male to female? What's the level of education we're going to be dealing with? How should I dress? It has everything in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like the dress attire, average age of the audience.
Yep.
And that was one thing that brought up from the Australian keynote too. So one of the things that it was also like a reminder is like they wanted Trevor to bring up the appreciation to the Aboriginal people in the space, like they do that for every conversation and then every event and discussion. So
yeah.
So I was like making sure a reminder. So that's really important, like the questionnaire for sure. I guess like a quick tip for everybody else, like on this call is I actually made it through Google Forms, and that was very adaptive and it was very quick to get into it and make sure it's public. So anyone who gets into it. So very, very important. It really saved us tons of time instead of going through the sending a paperwork and all that kind of stuff. But you can make a hyperlink from your speaker toolkit to that, and it will save you so much time. So
absolutely, that's really a good tip, and I like the way you guys have incorporated all the documents, all the outreach. You've been keeping it real simple, and what I really like about it is that you made all of the sales tools and the outreach documents, all of them match. They match the website. Excuse me. You kept it really clean, nice white background, a lot of spacing to keep it really simple to understand. And we're just extremely proud from the beginning to be working with you guys. And you've kept your head down and you've done the work and you're doing the outreach right now. And as you can see, the more people you reach out to, you don't have to hold your breath waiting for one conference coordinator. Okay, now you have the speaking engagement happening in Australia. You got one of them locked down. They want them to come back and do another session, and all of that's going in the right direction. We want to keep hearing about the feedback, because remember, when you have to take less of a fee, there are times when it's absolutely something wrong with doing it, and then there are times when there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing it. You have to put together the right deal so it works for the conference coordinator and it's fair for Trevor, because especially with international gigs, and all of you, well, with the exception of Woody, I believe, you and Trevor, I know from different countries, but this is what happens when you run an international speaking business, is that you can reach out to people all over the world. Alex, I did have one question about your outreach, and I wanted you to share this one last thing. Could you tell me which outreach method are you utilizing, and if you could just break it down and share that, and are you using like the LinkedIn organic outreach? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, it's my background's in social media, so I always try to reach out. So I've been doing I guess the one from Australia actually came from Twitter, and then we followed up through LinkedIn, and then we followed up on email. I try to get quickly onto our, try to get the coordinator straight to our speaking page on the website. On there, it links to a Calendly invite. That's like a 15-minute call. Then we go down like Austin's, CRM methods and stuff like that in module 5. So just FYI for everybody. And then basically do a follow-up. You take notes during the call. Please do that. Because it'll save you time back and forth and actually shows the person that you're paying attention. One top tip that really helped me out, what brings some type of personalization, is if there's something like a little bit unique into the conversation. So for example, this call today, like Anita brought up the question that brought up other questions in this call, so I'll take a little note of that. And so something like that. And basically that's where the negotiation, they go through the pre-questionnaire. They have any questions, they look over the speaker reel. Then I'm trying to think what the other part of the process. Speaker reel, the questionnaire, and that's where the negotiation comes in after questionnaire, because that's when they usually have some questions about, can we do this instead of this, or we can't afford certain things. And that's why I cross-reference and be like, okay, if there's certain things that we can, cut on the price, what would it be? So this would be those areas, and there's certain things where I can't change.
Excuse me.
And then that will be the decision of like, okay, should we move forward or should we move, break down, or if they can't do the whole fee at once, there's payments options, So yeah, and then after that, it goes into the, Austin talks about, if it goes into interested, deal confirmed, the different categories like interested or keep in contact and stuff like that. And that's really been, keeping me organized, because especially if you're doing 30, the 30 I do today, the 30 are different tomorrow, and the next 30 on Wednesday is going to be so different. That's 90 different, conferences and coordinators I'm talking at once, at different levels. Some are interested, some are not, some wanted a deal. But it also goes back to, what you said at the very beginning, into my response is like really knowing your target audience, really knowing, what do you really want the audience to take away from your conversation. So that's why I talked to Kevin about the takeaways, and if it's measurable, especially if it's something in regards to like social and emotional learning. This is one of Trevor's main areas, which is, it's kind of hard to measure in regards to, so I've been really bumping up the testimonials to advocate more for that, so people understand it, especially from credible sources that Trevor's known over the years.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, listen, all of that kind of stuff is important. I mean, Trevor has a very unique brand. He spent time with Nelson Mandela, and so that speaks volumes about his level of association and the type of respect that he's garnered over the years, through his career and being able to work on the things that he's been able to do. So I really appreciate, Alex, you taking out the time, especially when you're doing so much outreach right now. And that's really important. I want to go back to something else that you said as well, because all of these kind of things help the other students understand, especially if they're not through module 5 yet and they haven't completed all their outreach templates. So let's go back to something that you said about the conference coordinator and managing all those leads. Now you're up to talking to, 60, 70, 90 conference coordinators a week. If you do not take notes in your CRM, and Austin always says it all the time, I'm America's leading focus expert, and even I forget sometimes, so going through the CRM while you're on the call, and you have to become good, like going through the CRM and managing the needs assessment properly. It may be a good idea to take notes while you're right there on the call. If you can do it inside the CRM and type the notes in there, then you don't have to go back in. Believe me, when I first started doing one-on-one coaching and I had to manage a CRM on that level, when you listen, anytime you deal with Austin, your ass is going to have to work, because the strategies that he gives you is going to put you to work. And as you can see right now, Alex, if you don't keep up, you get behind, and that's a bad way to manage the business. So you have to learn how to deal with the sheer volume of the system of what it can do. I mean, listen, I tell people all the time, if you suck and you're the absolute worst that I've ever seen on our platform, you're only going to attract 1 to 5 conference coordinators every single day. That's if you don't go hard with your outreach. Alex is sitting here telling you, everybody, that he's reaching out 20, 30 conference coordinators a day, and the volume is getting high. Alex, how did it go? Alex, tell me at what point did it go from 0 to like 90? And you were like, whoa, I got to keep up.
I would say it was like the 3rd day. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna send it out. I tried 4 different template styles of outreach based on like what was shared in the speaker focus system.
Right.
Yeah, it was the 3rd day when it was like, okay, I hear back, 1 or 2, great, and then like the 3rd day, boom, there was like 11, and I was like, whoa. I said, Trevor, you ready? And then also, earlier we talked about, speaker resumes and CVs, and Trevor didn't go to college, so I had to basically create his resume from scratch. But it's like one of those things, like making sure you have all your stuff ready, because the coordinators don't have much time to like, hey, we have to make a decision right now. If you're not ready, they're going to be sorry, moving on.
Yeah.
So being well prepared and, really doing the info kit and gathering all the information and getting your website together and getting testimonials from previous speaking engagements, doing the work. Because like, for example, Trevor, he practices his speaking because he does a podcast. So he practices it every single day, and we deliver it and people get familiarized with it. So, I think that's in module 1. It talks about, doing, what's it called, Toastmasters, and practicing speaking and all that kind of stuff too. So, but yeah, it really, I think it was like the 3rd day, it really accelerated. And then I have a tracking spreadsheet as well as with the CRM to be like, okay, where's everyone's deadlines? Some people, there's some conferences, they need a speaker within a month. Some need it within a year, some are 6 months, so really tracking that, if you missed a deadline, get to them next year. Especially another top tip I also realized too is also, reaching out. When you're doing your research, looking in these emails, you're going to find the contact information. And you can act kind of like, oh, if I want to learn more about the speaking stuff, usually there'll be like an alias email, and that's how you can get like, oh, who runs this area? Who runs the keynotes or the featured speaker sessions or the workshop component of the conference or whatever. And then they'll be like, oh, it's so-and-so, it's John Doe, it's, it's another Alex or whatever. So that's been really helpful to know too. And then I put that in the CRM, and then hey, and then that's how this, the process, the funnel goes down. I get the contact person, and I take them to the website, and then they go through the whole process, and then they get to me and book a call, and then it goes from there. So
yeah. Once they book the call, then it's just a point of what you were saying before, of just doing some listening, finding out what their conference goals are, what the, how do they want to manage the event? What kind of speaker are they looking for? There's a reason why they booked a call with you too. So what do you think is the thing that is attracting them that you followed in the system that is, Austin calls that a lead magnet. So what lead magnet are you using to get them to schedule a call? What is enticing them to do that?
I think it goes back to what you were talking about earlier, getting rid of all the bloody fluff in your speaking modules. It's kind of like getting rid of all the motivational stuff. Like they already want to know what's the grip. Okay, what allows my attendees to get X, Y, and Z.
Right.
They don't have time to read all the fluff. That's where your keynote and stuff, if you want to add the little stories and stuff like that, that's where they want to hear the messaging, and that's when they get inspired. And you add the inspiration with, okay, what did you accomplish, and all that kind of stuff too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, listen, make sure that you send my love to Trevor and Woody. I'll be tell them I'll be catching up with him real soon. I owe Trevor we got to do an IG live. I'm gonna reach out to you before the end of the week, and we're gonna set that up. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Please do. Yeah. I'm always around.
Talk to you real soon, Alex.
Thanks. You too. Thanks, everybody.
Great job, man. Thank you so much for the feedback as well. Okay, let me see. We got Rico that had his hand up. I'm not sure if Allison had another question. Allison, I'll be right with you. If you did have another question, no problem. I'll be right with you after Rico. Let me see, Rico. Rico, I'm trying to click on the button to allow you to. Oh, okay. All right. Rico, you there? Ah, there we are. Can you hear me?
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Awesome. Hey, first of all, appreciate you being you, being 100, and the program's really been really interesting. I'm glad we got that. I'm glad we got on the same page on the bullet points.
Yeah,
And,
on the signature programs, man. You did an outstanding job. You finished it really, really strong, with that minor adjustment that you needed to make. And that's all that it takes, man, to be able to knock it out the park. As you can hear, a lot of our students, man, people really understand the value of laying the proper foundation and putting together the right messaging. I mean, it is what you're hanging your hat on for the rest of your speaking career. And it really makes a difference. As you can, you heard Alex, these guys had a lot of success coming in. And, I believe a lot of times when you're a consultant or a coach or something, or you've had an existing business and you're used to having a level of success in your head, it's difficult to go all the way back to the bottom of the hill when you're not a great copywriter and then learn a new system. A lot of our students really struggle with that. They're smart, but understand when it comes to copywriting, I'm smarter, right? And if you listen to me, you're going to be sounding like Alex. And they could have, bro, this is why ego gets in the way and it blocks your money. Because Alex, worked under Oprah Winfrey for years, right? This guy's been around a lot more powerful people than me and a lot more successful people. But they're humble and they understand what they were doing wrong. Now, my job was to tell them what they were doing wrong, just like I told you what you were doing wrong right from the get-go, right? I'm not going to let up when you actually made an investment in yourself and got on the platform, bro. I'm going to be riding you hard. Where's my home? Rico, you better get back in there. Rico, what did I tell you? I said, dig deeper.
Nah, I told you, my brother got me prepped for you because he gave
that's
me
right. I remember this story. I remember your story. You told me your brother was hard on you coming up, man. Yeah, you told me straight up, hey, look, I'm already used to this.
Man, don't even give me. Hey, look, he got tough on me. I tell him, not only was he tough, but our mom was tough. She kind of simmer down a little bit, but she's still tough.
Let me tell you something, bro. Yeah, my mother just turned 76 and she's still tough as nails. She don't give a damn about none of this celebrity stuff, how much money I'm making. She's like, listen, when I tell you to come over here and do something, when I say jump, you say how high and get it done. I don't want to hear no extra talk.
Same way.
Hey, and I keep my mouth shut around my mom because she. Let me tell you something, bro. She's still sharp up here, and she's still. You think I can talk? Oh man, yeah. My mother is my mother is difficult to deal with. That's why I don't mess with her, bro. She'll still slap you in the face with a pan. She don't care. She move a little slower, but she can still get to you. Oh,
hey, well, man, that's. Hey, but yeah, I think it would keep it 100 with me, though, and I really like this. Do I now? I've been, I guess, some kind of blessed with someone who else was working as an intern.
Rico, hold on for a second. I think hold on. Your connection is breaking up just a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now. That's more clear. Yes.
Good. So the good thing about it is, with being done with module 1 and the module 2, my question is, what about having someone who's an intern that really just wants to help me, definitely behind the scenes. Now I think that's going to really help accelerate going through the sales tools, having it organized.
Okay.
I guess my question is, do I need to email you guys about it? Because I read, of course, sharing anything about whether it's the templates or anything, you got to get permission about that. And I just wanted to make sure I got clarity on that, so they can kind of see the framework in which I'm working with.
Okay. So you're saying you're bringing on an intern on your team that's going to be helping you with the business.
Yeah, on the back end, right?
Okay.
Right.
All right. No problem.
So
yeah, well, what I'd say is, anytime you have a personal assistant and interns and things of that nature, they need the proper kind of training to help you run your speaker business. So
okay.
what I would do is take a certain amount of hours every week and start training them on what you need them to do. Because if you just throw them in there, like a lot of people, you obviously, Rico, you're learning how to do everything yourself first, and then you're training them how to do it. And that's the way you properly manage a team. So, you have to train people up first before you can expect them to perform at a high level. I see way too many people try to put an intern or somebody who doesn't know how to articulate sales, and they try to throw them into the hole first. And then they send me like a audio sample of talking to the conference coordinator, and it's horrible. Now, if you want somebody representing your brand that doesn't sound professional, then have at it. But this is about you keeping things as simple as possible and you making sure that things are done right. I'd rather get there slow and right. I'd rather the business be put together properly, not right, properly, than go fast and have it all wrong.
Right.
And you already know me better than that. I'm not going to approve it if it looks sloppy, because my job is to make sure that it looks the right way in front of the conference coordinator, bro. I just care about you getting the money.
Yeah.
I want you to book the speaking engagement. But as you can see, with the struggles that many speakers have, when you do it the opposite of what we're telling you to do.
Yeah.
This is the reason why people can't get to the speaker bag. That's the reason why they can't get to the money, because they don't know about any of this stuff that we're teaching you on this platform. Now, it's a process, because most people, they lose patience. They just want to get to the money. They want to get to the money as fast as possible. And I understand that. But you should be trying to figure out the proper way to grow your speaker business, and then the rest of it takes care of itself.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Did you have any other questions?
No, that was pretty much it. I mean, in a way, they already kind of helped me. But I know I was going through the modules. I know you had mentioned that about if you do have an intern.
Sure.
Most times with interns, of course, you're not charging anything, but they're kind of contributing their time.
Correct.
So
Correct.
You really kind of want to make it to where, I mean, yeah, they help, and they've helped me with things before, but I'm saying I just want to make sure I always make it kind of like valuable both ways. You know what I mean?
You have to. It ain't no kinda. You have to make it valuable both ways. It has to work for them. For them, it's going to be a learning experience. They're gaining knowledge of your experience in business. And then they're committing their time and helping you out. Man, sometimes with an intern, sometimes if you have them come over twice a week and help you out 2 hours a night, just to put their hands on some paperwork. Man, I used to love it when early in my business, I used to love it when my interns would come over, or my personal assistant would come over. Man, we would get so much work done, because now we would put some music on or put a movie on or something and catch up on paperwork and get a bunch of stuff done. By the time they walked out the door, now watch this. I'm training them with having conversations. I'm mentoring them. I'm coaching them the whole entire time about things they're interested in. Learn what they're interested in. I would try to find somebody who's interested in speaking. Find somebody who wants to be a speaker one day, and they're going to be learning under your system, and they're learning right along with Speaker Focus. That's the best kind of person to get. As you can see all of these celebrity photos behind me, I went out, every single one of these pictures that you see behind me, somebody from my staff, I trained how to cover red carpet events. Most of them came from college. They had a camera and they wanted to learn how to cover celebrity events. So I taught them how to do that. And that's how I got all that content. You see, it works when you put the system in play. We don't tell you to do things that don't get results on this platform. And as you can hear with the people giving feedback, that's the reason why I go so hard on my approach to teaching it to you, because I have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to your intern to make sure that they have the proper kind of training. Don't sit there and just let them, you watch this. A lot of people hire people a lot of speakers and coaches and consultants hire people, then they expect them to perform. You have to teach them what the expectation is so they can perform. You only delegate to a person who can perform, and then they will be able to execute. But before they can execute, you got to train them and coach them and teach them up first.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, no problem, man.
All right.
Take care of yourself, Rico. Talk to you real soon.
You too.
Okay, everyone. Because I'm on my weight loss journey and all I've been doing is drinking water all day long, why don't we just move the damn bathroom? Move the office into the bathroom. So I am going to have to dip out and take a couple minute intermission. So if you would excuse me, I will be right back. Go take a restroom break if you need to. Go grab something to drink or eat. I will be right back. Anybody else that has a question, put your hand up and I'll be right with you. Excuse me. Woo, feel a little lighter. Okay, everyone. Let me see. Allison had another comment down here. Allison said, I love the proactive, proficient and practical approach and focus. All goes to credibility. Absolutely. All those sales tools and the biography and all of that stuff really adds to your credibility, and it's so much needed. It's so needed. Okay, everyone. I don't see any more hands up. Let me check the chat box real quick and make sure we don't have any more questions. Anita said a storm is brewing. All right, if she got, yeah, Allison, Anita, if you got disconnected because a storm is in your area, I understand. If you got any additional questions, just submit a support ticket to support@speakerfocus.com. Alex, I think he's gone now, maybe from the Zoom room. Allison said, really value your insights and wisdom, Alex. Thank you. It's always good to hear from other students who are having success in the coaching program. It's not like it's a contest, but it is very enlightening. It's inspiring to hear how people go through the program and they get results. This is what we want you to do. All right, now Brian said my mom's favorite saying was, I brought you into this world, I take you out. Yeah, my mom said that to me a whole lot of times. So listen, everyone, I want you to understand something about what's happening in the speaking industry. Okay, well, wait a minute. Lisa, hey Lisa, what's going on with you?
Hey Kev, how are you?
I'm doing super fantastic. How's things in Albuquerque?
Hot.
I know that's right.
All right, I was in Santa Fe for the past week, which is 10 degrees cooler, and I just got back here and I'm dying, but it's all right.
Got you.
Yeah. So this question kind of really is more for Auston. Is he on today?
Yeah, yep, Austin is on. Let me just he stepped away for a quick second, but
Okay, well, I can still ask the question.
yeah, exactly.
So I had asked him before, I sent a support ticket and he did answer me.
Mhm.
I think it was back in, maybe it was module 4, maybe it was beginning of 5 when he was laying, no, it must have been module 5, when he was laying out all the different accounts to get. So there was the Calendly, the Active Campaign, and something else.
Correct.
And so my website is Wix, which has a lot of integrations in it. And so what I had asked him is it necessary, not because I'm trying to get out of doing anything, but is it necessary to get all of those other ones? Aren't there some within Wix that would work? And so what he said is to do the Calendly first.
Mhm.
And then once I book a few gigs, then reinvest that money into the Active Campaign.
Correct.
However, when I got to, I watched video 2 in module 5 today, and he was actually showing where you move everything in there. I'm wondering then if, and what he had also said when he responded to me before was, yes, there are some other ways you could do it, but you guys had built the platform and built this training using the, the things that you suggested.
Correct.
But now that I see how, once he explained it in video 2, how you'd actually use Active Campaign, it seems like it makes more sense to go ahead and get that up in front, because then you don't have to, use a different spreadsheet or use something else and then move it over there later.
Yeah.
And then as far as the email campaigns though, does it have to be, I can't remember which one it was he said, because Wix does have some pretty good ones, and that's one that I've been using already for the email campaign. So is that one maybe a little more fluid, where just as long as you have a good email campaign app, maybe the Active Campaign for tracking is the one that's more important to go ahead and buy?
Correct. I believe that a lot of times that, you have to, when you're in before you go bigger, you can start where you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of our students on our platform, they, a lot of things integrate well in with what we're doing at Speaker Focus. You don't have to use everything we tell you to do, but, I'd recommend, if you're not really familiar with CRMs, let's say nothing against nothing against MailChimp or Constant Contact, nothing against it. But what happens is, we always have recommend software to you in terms of scaling. And if you want to scale up and you want to grow into your business properly, you're going to need a CRM like Active Campaign. Listen, we've been on several CRMs, but our list is so big now. That's why we use close.com. You have to look at that. And a lot of times you have to integrate the software into your business, is because, your business model is going to change, and it's going to require you to have different pieces of software. When you grow, you're going to have to be open to sometimes changing it, because it may not serve your needs. So that's the reason why he recommends Active Campaigns. It's a strong CRM, and the tracking mechanism that it has inside. See all that data that's inside your CRM. Some CRMs, they're not that expansive, and they're not as powerful. And if it's not, then that means that all the data that we need to be able to make these modifications and adjustments, is a constant, never-ending, nonstop evolution of your speaker business. And software is just like anything else. It'll get outdated, or it does not serve you anymore. And so whenever you run into a challenge with that part of your business getting cloudy, you always send a support ticket to Austin. That's why he's the CTO, because believe me when I tell you, like Austin, he won't even hesitate for a second. If it doesn't serve us, next thing I know, I'm getting a new username and password. Bro, I took us off of this. I got us on this. And here's the reason why. And I say, okay, because everything we use makes us money.
Right. Okay.
Period.
Okay.
That's what you want to think about when you're dealing with Austin. He has a different way. This is why Austin is in total control of module number 5, because that's what converts the lead into revenue.
Okay.
And it has to be set up the right way. Did you have any other questions?
No, I understand that. That makes perfect sense. I wasn't thinking of it in terms of scaling, how it's going to scale up, especially when we start getting busier. And like Alex was saying, all of a sudden, you get 2 calls a week, and then all of a sudden you're getting 20.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then the different, I would assume there's different reporting tools within there and things like that. So, okay.
Absolutely. And that's the reason why it's important to go in and binge watch module 5 like you do with your sitcom that you love, or whatever one of your television shows, or even listening to your favorite song.
Right.
This is the art and science of repetition. Literally will ingrain these strategies in your subconscious mind. And now you want to get to the point, Lisa, where you don't even have to think about the marketing. You don't have to think like Alex and a lot of other people on our platform. They're starting to become I call it just unconscious. Like he doesn't even have to think about it now. You know why? Because the sheer volume that he's doing. I told you, when you go from 0 to 90, and then you're having to manage the conference coordinator every single day. You're having to deal with people lying to you. You're having to deal, you can tell the people who are serious and who are not serious. You can tell the bigger events you want to speak at versus the smaller venues. Lisa, you can tell the church associations that want to book you to speak, the ones that really got passion. You can tell the ones that don't give a damn about their parishioners. You're going to track every single piece of data.
Right.
And that CRM is how you're going to do it. Let me tell you something. When I first started working with Auston, and I was dragging my ass with managing the CRM because I hadn't ever managed a CRM that was that big, that was that powerful. But see, Auston knows this stuff like the back of his hand. You understand? He lives, breathes, eats, and craps this stuff 24 hours a day. Is all he cares about.
Right.
So when it changes, when a new one comes out, when it's a new upgrade in the software, when the app gets updated, he knows immediately. Austin's like, it's almost like he works for the company. Right. That's how tied in he is to how all of this stuff works. Because if it doesn't make money and it doesn't serve your business, then you're going to be in trouble. So now, Lisa, you're to the point now where obviously you're still very entrenched in your schedule with what you do for travel and writing and things of that nature. Well, eventually, once you get all your sales tools done, you're going to be on the other side of finishing your outreach templates, excuse me, which I believe I just sent you. Is that correct?
No, let's see. You approved my script for my intro video, and yes. I'm working on that. And then you approved my my speaker info kit. And then yes. you answered a bunch of questions I had on next steps as far as where to start looking for the conference coordinators and everything. So that's where I am.
No, wait a minute, Lisa. Remember that I sent you a template of all the outreach documents. Remember that?
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. And you're going to make that match. You have a beautiful speaker info kit. It's well designed.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous. So make sure that your outreach documents, make sure that they match your speaker info kit. That's all you got to do. Okay. And once you do that, send that over. Now, see, you're pressing up right on module number 5. So when you go through module 5, again, ask as many questions as you can, because this is what we're here for, to get you through module 5. Because if you're not a technology person, Lisa, I'm not a technology person.
Right.
I am now, but not in the same regard that Auston is. I mean, I understand how to make it work. I understand why we need to utilize the software. But if you're not a technology person, you got to keep looking at this stuff and looking at it and looking at it. By the time you look at it 15, 20 times, you're not going to feel uncomfortable anymore. You're going to say, that's how that works. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And if it doesn't click, guess what? Our job, because we're the ones doing the majority of the talking, Lisa, we're the ones, you're learning the curriculum from our system. If it's something you don't understand, it's not your fault. It's our fault. And we don't mind clarifying, taking responsibility, walking you through it, whatever it's going to take. So again, I gotta take my hat off to you. Lisa is like a lot of people on our platform. She has a full schedule. She's deeply involved in her career. She's exceptionally skilled at what she does, but she's been able to go through this coaching program She shows up for the group calls. If she doesn't show up for the group call, she listens to it like she's making time because she wants her speaking to be a priority. And at the pace she's going right now, excuse me, at the pace she's going right now, she's going to find herself in the mix of talking to these conference coordinators sooner than later. But I say it and I'll say it again. You have to take it step by step. And if you just do what I'm asking you to do, eventually, I know sometimes it feels uncomfortable. Well, why does he want me to do that? Look at what Anita said. Excuse me. Look at what Anita said in the group call. There's a method to the madness.
Right.
It's a reason why we're having you lay the foundation and do all this stuff. Lisa, just like it's a reason why you're working on all your outreach templates right now. Now, you finished the messaging, you're almost finished with every template to design of what's required of you on this platform. Once you get into module 5, now it's just being able to set the sales funnel up the right way. And once you get that done, now you can start doing outreach and talking to conference coordinators. Then once you start collecting the data of talking to them, you're going to be sharing that with us back and forth. This is why we're here and we have lifetime access and lifetime support.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it goes back to not only what Anita said about, you've repeated things 8, 10, 12, 15 times. And I think, okay, that's why he's saying it, but also what you said in the beginning. And I know that's definitely me with technology is I have to be dragged into it kicking and screaming, but I'm willing to go past that uncomfortableness because it's more like I don't understand it. But you detailing how you're not just picking these things because they're good options, you're picking them because they're excellent options and they are going to be with me, even if they have to change them as far as we scale up when things start rolling and, so we only have to think about it and it'll just be boom, 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 boom. So yeah, I appreciate that.
No problem. You're very welcome. And Lisa, one last thing as I'm getting to my next question. So you are happy to make those adjustments and modify, throw out a piece of software and replace it with something that's going to make you even more money when your business starts making money.
Yes, absolutely.
Auston does it to us all the time. I have learned, listen to me carefully, never be married or there's no loyalty when it comes to software. There's no loyalty when it comes to like sales tools and things of this nature. There are some things that's always going to be a mainstay. Some people love Canva. Some people love PowerPoint. Some people love to design their marketing materials in Photoshop. Whatever your preferred method of design is, that's fine. Whether or not you have a graphic designer to do it or you're doing it yourself. But when it comes to software, man, Auston to snatch us off of it fast. If he realizes that the rate in which we're growing, I mean, I'm talking about Auston has it dialed down to the load speed on your website. Nah, bro, we're not using that anymore because we were losing a half a second load speed on our website. What?
Right.
What? What did he just say?
Right.
Like, but he'll do it because he's not going to have any lag time because it's all about creating the best customer experiences possible. Now, Lisa, as you grow, then you're going to share that data with us. See, and then Austin's gonna say, well, Lisa, it sounds like you're to the point in your speaking career. He's gonna ask, this is what he's gonna ask you. What's the size of your list? You're gonna say, well, my list went from 1,000 to 5,000. Oh, well, you should be doing different stuff right now. You got 5,000 people on your list because it's more difficult to manage a bigger list. And remember, your list is your asset.
Right.
Your list is an asset. So we're always here for you, Lisa. We're not going anywhere. We're dedicated to this, to making sure that before we get the money, we got to make sure it's built properly first.
Thank you. And I'm following you guys to the letter. And like you said, I'm asking questions along the way. You always give me the detailed answers. And as you answer them, then I understand, oh, okay, now I understand why this is this, and the other thing. So
absolutely. There's always a why. Whenever keep it in mind for all of you, when you get frustrated, well, why does KTR want me to do that? Why does Auston want me? There's always a why. And the why is because we want your business looking professional in front of the conference coordinator. Then we want to get the conference coordinator to convert into revenue, period.
Right.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And Auston too.
Okay. Love you much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. Let me see. let me see. Sabrina is give me a quick. Okay. Let me see. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, we had somebody. Okay, Sabrina said, all right, no, I've been quiet. Take some steps backwards. I'm going slow and steady progress. Make sure I do what's right. Stand the one to thank you. Be in touch soon. Okay. All right, Sabrina, another one of our clients from the UK. You know, she's talking about taking some steps back so she can move forward. Nothing wrong with that. This is a self-paced course. We understand that people fall off the wagon sometimes. Distractions happen. Real life happens, and it gets in the way a lot of times of your speaker goals. It doesn't matter. This is a marathon. You're going to get there. Let me see. All right, Ramon, great call and motivating. Thank you, Ramon. All right, yeah, Austin, I was able to tackle. Lisa didn't. Lisa just had a question about the CRM. She said, but you answered it through the support ticket that you sent. So thank you so much on that, boss. Speaker Focus is the best training platform. Glad I chose to invest and learn from the #1 Speaker Focus and #1 tech expert in this space. Thank you, Rico. We appreciate that, bro. You know, it's really just all about being able to stay humble and sit in the space that you're in and do work that's fulfilling. And that's what it's all about. Rafa Escobar, what's going on, bro? KTI, you bought your A game today, coach. Thank you for all the great questions. I learned a lot today. Thank you for attending. And this is what this is all about as we are winding down the group call. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to put your hand up before we get out of here. I don't mind taking extra time at all. Whenever you provide some feedback for us, obviously we appreciate it. #1, all your kind words, your emails, your support tickets, the text messages. You know, we told you we're creating a movement. This is bigger than me and Austin. You know, we're just two entrepreneurs who saw the same thing, and we knew it was a major problem that speakers had with learning the business, and we're family. That's my brother, and you're part of our family as well. Now you're supposed to take care of family, and you can't just give people lip service. People want to know how to create change, and as a speaker, you're supposed to be helping people create change as well. And that's all we care about. All we give a damn about is you getting some results. Now, if you do the work and you follow the steps, you're going to get the results. This isn't some fantasy, some pie in the sky. This is real. Get my homework assignments done. What did Lisa say? Lisa said, I'm going to keep asking questions. And I always see Lisa Lisa's always submitting support tickets. You know why? Because she's doing the damn work. How do you get better on this platform? Turning in the assignments so you can get the critiques. And that is how you advance to the next level. And that is how you get better in the speaking industry. Now, all right, let me see. Oh, Allison said, yep, sometimes we need to slow down to speed up. That's absolutely right. That's right. Put some self-care into the game. Take care of yourself. Yeah, work hard, but I learned a valuable lesson about self-care. All right, Rafa, I got 3 of my 4 templates written. And it's so encouraging to hear all the other students and their success and tips one day at a time. That's right, one day at a time. Everybody's going to get there. Everybody's going to get there. You have to you have to keep your head down. And some of you need to disappear. I'm telling you, all that happy hour shit and all this hanging out, keep your head in the game. Keep your head in the game. And then your friends, I know they're going to miss you. But when you resurface, you're going to be better. You're going to have, your speaker business is going to be more sound. It is an investment that's going to pay off for you for a lifetime. All right, let me see. At least I have one more last question. Okay, LinkedIn profile for the choice of industry. I tried to leave it blank because none fit, but it wouldn't let me. The closest was professional training and coaching. So is that what I choose? Or shall I leave it or choose something else? Yeah, professional training and coaching is a category that's befitting of a professional speaker. If they didn't have anything that was more in a niche, just pick something close, and that should suffice for LinkedIn. Remember, people are really not locating you on LinkedIn because of professional training and coaching, especially when you have your sales funnel set up the right way. When you attract them to your LinkedIn page, what they're looking at is the way you got your page set up, and they're looking at the titling that you have in there, what it is that you do. See, you control that narrative right there. Always control the narrative. Control the narrative. You looked at people's LinkedIn profile and they got 15 titles in their profile. No, just one. Give me one good thing that you do, and you do it very, very well. And that's what the conference coordinator is focusing on. I'm a professional speaker who helps people find solutions to do. Look, that's it. You're very welcome, Lisa. I don't see any. Oh, I see some hands up. Okay. We got, okay. Rafa, I'll be right with you. Wayne, I will be right with you. Ladies are always first on the Speaker Focus platform. Terry Wade, you're live with KTR and Austin. Hey, Terry.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Terry. Terry, what a lovely family that you have. Let me just say that. I saw you chilling with your daughter. Nice pics.
Thanks.
How can I help you?
I might have accidentally put my hand up, but no, I'm just taking it all in. I appreciate it so much. What Alex was saying, it's nice to hear, like you got the experience, but people that are going through it and seeing their success is really inspiring.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We definitely appreciate it. Excuse me, Terry. And again, you're another example of a person who performs at a high level. You are no stranger to coaching. You're no stranger to the speaking industry and taking new information. So obviously, when a business professional like you takes the time to listen to other people, that just shows a lot about you, and you're not getting your ego or your emotions in the way. Like a lot of people that perform at a high level and they're successful at what they do prior to taking the coaching program, a lot of them, they get in their own way, and as you can hear, somebody that's had that kind of success like Alex and many other people on our platform, we're all going through the same thing. We're all going through the same thing. And if you got the mindset where you're not skipping steps and you're taking time to build your speaker business properly, Terry, it is an investment. I didn't know this until I started the right kind of marketing activity, but it's an investment that simply will pay off for the rest of your life. And then the good thing about being a speaker, I want you to listen to this because I like to use sports analogies a lot. Like LeBron James is my favorite player, but LeBron is 35 now, but he's a billionaire, right? LeBron is the first active billionaire player in the history of the NBA.
Wow.
So he was able to do that while he was still playing, but he's getting old. No matter how skilled he is, and he's still the best player in the league at 35 because he's just so athletically gifted. But Terry, even athletes, I don't care how skilled they are at their sport, eventually Father Time catches up with all of their asses and they start slowing down a little bit, or they're not as good as they once were when they were in the prime of their career. But as a speaker, damn, Terry, you don't do nothing but get better as you get older.
Yeah, right.
There's no retirement home for speakers, right? You don't have to go into retirement. They're gonna have to peel, Terry. They're gonna have to peel microphone out of my dead hand. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You can do this forever, and you're investing in your career right now, so it pays off. And then Terry, guess what? Remember, Golden Triangle. You already have a successful coaching program. Yeah. You're already doing consulting in some kind of capacity. You're doing all three. You can absolutely explode your income. So now let me ask you this. Have you sent over your your final signature program template yet?
No, not the final ones. I still need to do that.
Okay. All right. I know you're still putting it together. I know you got a lot going on. Send it over to us so we can take a look at it, Terry, so we can get you on the other side of your messaging.
Okay.
And you can go ahead to module 2 to start working on your sales tools.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. Let us know what you need. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
I love it. Keep your head up.
Take care. Thanks.
Right.
Bye.
Okay, let me see. We got Rafa. I believe Rafa was ahead of Wayne. So Wayne, I appreciate your patience. Rafa, you there?
I'm right here, KTR. You got me?
Rafa, what's up, boss? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. How are you today?
Man, let me tell you something.
What's up?
Mondays are always my hardest day because we got the group call. And then, one of my on one of my follow-up calls, one of my clients asked me, she said, KTR, you seem a little subdued today. You don't seem like your normal self. Is everything okay? I said, I need to manage my energy properly today because I still got my group call. Now I can't be at the top of my level of excitement all throughout 20 something calls every single day and then expect to perform at a high level on the group call. So what I think about all the time, and all of you need to remember this, your voice is how you make your money, and you have to protect your voice. It is not uncommon for singers, speakers, rappers, all of them are constantly at the ear, nose, and throat doctor all the time getting checkups. Your voice is your tool and you got to rest it. So what I think about is energy management, Rafa. That's why I have less available spaces on my calendar right now. And I was able to increase my revenue. And that's all because of automation and Mr. Auston Troyer. But go ahead. What's your question?
Man, let me just say this. It shows through in what you did today, because that's why I said, man, you brought your stuff today. So there was something that you did along the day to preserve your space for us. And that's kind of what I wanted to comment on is your coaching style, man, and just how much we really truly are lucky to have you, and how much I appreciate you, because you bring this style where it's like half the time I'm nervous to show up to the calls because I know I didn't do everything I set out to do, and you fall into this thing, you know what I mean? But then on the other side, you got this dude that's so patient, that's so loving, that you know is there for you. So it's like that dynamic really creates this result-driven kind of emotion in your life where you just want to go hard for you, you know what I mean? And well, I really appreciate the fact that you took the time to create your energy for us, because man, let me tell you, this call was on fire today. Everyone was asking great questions. And another takeaway I want to give you that I had today was, you know, we've been speaking a lot about how I get ahead of myself and I see myself with the mic on the stage and these things. And as I was hearing, I think Alex talk, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this dude's really doing it. Like, this program works, like all these things. He's confirming every thought in my head.
Right.
And I was left in this space where it's like, holy shit, I'm so behind. I got to do all these things. And all of a sudden my head goes crazy. And in that moment, I just stopped. I was like, yo, bro, you had a good day today. Tomorrow, just get back to work. And in that moment, I was like, that's how I get it out of my head. And that's how I could just every day do a little bit, every day do a little bit, every day do a little bit, and stay in it instead of overthink it. And I wouldn't have had that unless you were answering the questions in the way you did, unless people were asking the questions in the way they did. So these 2 hours are the most valuable time I got right now, is what I'm saying. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome, man. You know, again, you know, we knew we were creating something special, you know, many years ago when me and Austin sat down, and you know, we wanted to move it so we wanted to move it to a platform and get it away from the one-on-one coaching model, because it's very difficult to scale one-on-one coaching. So, you know, and we wanted to help more people. So, you know, this business was created out of a need. You know, it really was a concern of mine that people were struggling to understand speaking the way that they are. And so, how now so many people think that they know what's going on in this business until they get in it and they start learning what's going on behind the scenes. So, you know, I want you to have the same kind of patience with your clients, because you gotta listen to people. You gotta really be in tune with what it is that they want and what they need. And remember, your signature programs are going to act as a remedy and a healing mechanism to help your clients excel to another level. Bro, we got a real responsibility as coaches, speakers, consultants, subject matter experts, leading authorities, trusted advisors, service providers, specialists. You know, these are other business professionals sitting in your audience, and they are looking to gain the slight edge advantage. They are looking to peak their performance. They are looking to accelerate in ways that they don't know how to do right now. So when they come in and see Rafael Escobar on stage and he's high energy, his arms are all cut up, and he's a shining example of discipline. They want to know how they want their shot at the Super Bowl ring, Rafa. They don't want to just look at you and see that you got Super Bowl rings. They don't want you flashing your Super Bowl ring all the time. They're like, bro, how you going to teach me how to make it? First of all, you gotta get through the regular season. See, this is what people don't understand. It's the last man or woman standing in sports. Typically, the ones who can manage injuries the best, the one who stay together as a team, the ones who have the best chemistry, and the ones who are healthy at the end of the year. You got to make it through the regular season first. Then let's see who gets to the playoffs. Not everybody gets a chance to make it to the playoffs, Rafa. But the teams that don't make it, I'm not talking about the perennials like the Patriots and the Steelers and the people in the AFC and the people in the NFC who make it to the playoffs all the time. Well, you just expect to see them in there. You expect to see Tom Brady's face in the playoffs every single year. I'm talking about the people who don't make it to the playoffs, bro. You think they're not hungry too?
Oh, yeah.
Of course they're hungry.
Absolutely.
So think about how many people that are hungry in your audience who need the information that you have to share. And that's why you can't be giving them a whole bunch of what. You have to give them a lot of how.
I see.
And if you're willing to teach them how to, you're going to be able to make money in this business. And I'm telling you, it's so easy to stand head and shoulders above the rest in your industry because most people are just making a bunch of noise. They don't know nothing, Rafa, about the things that we're teaching you as Speaker Focus. All you have to do is follow the system. Now, you're a younger man. When I was a younger man, it's hard to have patience. I'm like, I don't want to hear that weight shit. I want it now.
It's like you were in my head.
Hey, this is what Rafa was really thinking. Forget KTR. I'm going to grab a microphone and stand in front of the mirror. I'm going to practice before I get my signature programs done. But Rafa, at least you're almost there to finish the signature programs, and I can't wait to read them. None of you don't get discouraged, and don't. I know a lot of times the reason why you're not turning in the homework assignment is because you want to sit on it. You want it to be perfect. I'm not looking for perfect. Perfect is too stressful. Just get your creativity on paper, put it inside the template, and send it over to us because we're going to have to go back and forth at least 2 or 3 times on average until you get it right. But Rafa, I don't promise it to you, bro. I guarantee you. Once you get those signature programs complete and you get on the other side of it and you hit a sigh of relief in Anita, and every single week you're going to show up and somebody is going to be hitting a milestone. And that's what these are about. You got a bunch of little milestones until I say to you, Rafa, you graduated the program and you're ready to start doing your outreach to conference coordinators. And that's when you're going to be talking to people every single week. And your lifestyle is going to change, bro, because you're going to start booking speaking engagements. And that's how this business works. You got it?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Can I ask you one other question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, and thank you for giving me, I'm a big sports guy too. So thank you for giving me that analogy in the Super Bowl, because I think sometimes it's easy to get lost in the show, just giving the what, but not giving the how. So I think it's critical to be in a mindset of giving them the rings, the ability to have their own rings, and I just flash in yours. I think that was a big piece for me. So thank you. Now I have a question. In my second program, it's a nutrition-based leadership, right? And as part of this, I'm going to be teaching a program in terms of what to eat, what foods to avoid, how much, and things of that nature. Now, the thing is it's going to be a combination of my own personal experience in trying different methods, and also too in my own personal experience of trying this specific method and how it worked for me and how it's tailored for the individual. Now, in this process, I am also affiliated as a direct consultant in a direct marketing company called Arbonne. So I sell health and wellness products, which is what part of my program is, and it's what I teach to my clients and what I use. Now, as I'm just peeking into the future and I look at that and I'm standing there, right? Is there going to be any sort of conflict of interest? Is there anything that you can speak to that in terms of having products with you and doing that as you're also teaching and explaining and showing what it is that you do in your life?
Okay, well, first of all, that is a great question, and I'm glad that came up. Just give me a quick second.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, you asked me about the network marketing opportunity that you're in,
Correct.
and is that going to be a conflict to let that spill over on the speaking side? Did I hear that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to say. I've been a part of some network marketing companies in the past, in my early 20s, and I understand the business model. A lot of people are calling it a pyramid, whatever the case is. When you're doing things on the speaking side, I'm going to say always keep them separate, because you're going to be building the downline and doing things of that nature. But it's going to be a lot of people, just like anything else. They're going to have a negative viewpoint on what that is. So never mix in that unless you are speaking at a conference, a network marketing conference, or you are training a bunch of leaders that are in the network marketing business, which I've done tons of conferences like that, right?
Okay.
And then it's a very natural fit. See, everybody's speaking the same language when we're all at the conference, and that's part of their sales process. Excuse me. So you having a side hustle with that, there's nothing wrong with that. Get your money, build your downline, build your network, do whatever you got to do. But speaking is totally different. I'm gonna tell you, one of my mentors, one of my dear friends in the DC area, Super Bowl champion, Rick Doc Walker, from the old Redskins, the now new Washington football team. Rick always tells me, KTR, keep everything separate. Don't mix pools of business together, because it's like oil and water. It doesn't mix. So keep the network marketing over here. Keep the training that you do in the network marketing over there. Keep everything about your speaking. It's two separate sales funnels. Do you understand?
Yeah, 100%. Now, here's a thing where I'm having just a little bit of a block, because in what I want to teach when it comes to nutrition, the system and the products that I use to transform my life, not physically, mentally, and emotionally, was what I want to make available to others. Essentially, that's me giving them the Super Bowl ring that I got by utilizing this particular system. So I understand the concept of keeping them separate. Yep. And the purpose of having them in the speaking wouldn't be to build a downline and build a business out of it. It would be to present with the solution that allowed me to lose 30 pounds. And not as, I know it sounds really gimmicky in marketing. I haven't figured out the verbiage, but from my 15 years of dieting and working out and just being in the life, I know what it requires to lose weight. And this is by far the best thing I've ever found, which is in the process, the system, and the products are only an integration of it, and you can use them in multiple ways. But this is the solution that I feel was put on this earth to help people physically, mentally, and emotionally transform their life. And I worked in the office setting. I spent years as an engineer, and I understand the life of going to the office and being on a time schedule and the stress life. So having had that experience and knowing what I know now, and having had developed myself as a trainer, I'm like, okay, this is the real solution that people need. And I hate the fact that it's in a direct marketing company, because I'm like, I know that can get sticky. I just want to be able to talk about both if it's a possibility.
Okay, now I agree with everything you said, and I love your passion and enthusiasm about it. Don't apologize for it being quote unquote network marketing. Every opportunity in every business is not for everybody. There's a lot of people that, first of all, people that have network marketing companies, they have outstanding products. Their products are amazing. That's the reason why they take the network marketing approach and share the wealth amongst everybody in the downline versus doing advertising. Network marketing companies don't have to advertise because they have all the people that are working the business to do it for them. Now, this is a very good match, Rafa. It's not like, you're out of your space. You're still in the fitness space. You believe in the product. Belief has a lot to do with your credibility, and it has a lot to do with you influencing people. Now, you can sell that from the stage, just like you would sell a book. If you
Right.
wrote a book about fitness, see, all these are things that are what I call BOR, back of the room. I talk about that in module number 4, I believe it is. Back of the room sales.
Yeah.
As soon as you come off the stage, watch this, Rafa. It's not like you are overweight. It's not like you're out of shape and you're trying to tell me how to get in shape. You are in
Right.
shape. You do have that kind of discipline. Not only because you're young, bro, you put the work in, period. And I saw
Right.
your before and after pictures. So it's not like you fell out of heaven like this. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that being said, first of all, take pride in what you're doing, because you could sell that from the stage. And when I say sell it from the stage, because you're a walking, living example, then perhaps somebody will want to say, hey, well, Rafa, how did you do it? And then maybe when you're doing a keynote speech, you can talk about that a little bit from the stage without getting in the way of your message. You can say, hey, listen, a product that I'm taking is da, 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 and that's how I was able to lose the weight. That's part of my story. Now, people may come over to you afterwards, or you may have a booth set up at a conference, and you may have some material, a website for them to go to. See, all of that's going to come after they hear your message. So
Okay.
you can incorporate it in there without it being a conflict. I'm gonna tell you where it's really gonna be a conflict. If you decide that you want to do on-site training, and let's say Hanes brand hires you to come in to do some kind of fitness expo for them on site.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to be the right time to share the network marketing opportunity there, because they just want you to come in to speak about how to make their staff more healthy.
Okay, I see. 100%.
It's a place and time for everything. When you're in the problem with the network marketing is that when they want you to come speak for free at the conference all the time because you're working the business, and you're trying to earn income as a speaker. They don't want to pay you because they're already paying you with you working the business, and that's okay. So I would say if you have to do network marketing, take pictures and run video and get content, because that is just going to help you make more money over here with all the stuff we're teaching you at speakerfocus.com. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Yes,
content,
absolutely.
Bro. Don't be, if you're in it, don't be ashamed of it. Go hard. There's a lot of people that you're helping right now that they like the product and they love you, and they're going to buy from you just because it's you. It all goes together with what you're doing, Rafa. I don't feel anything being out of alignment, because it all supports and it makes sense. It's all in alignment with what you do in the fitness space.
Man, you don't know how much I needed those words right now. Thank you so much. Because I needed that belief pushed out of me, because in this world, when you hear things outside of you, sometimes it can kind of blind your perspective and how you really feel. And thank you for recognizing what it is that I was trying to relay, because I think that it will work. I know it will work. And I'm excited to have you as a coach and guiding me through it as I can continue to submit the support tickets when I run into any sort of issues or how I want to present it. But thank you. That's a big clarity. There's a big piece of clarity that I needed, and now I just put my head down and get back to the work.
Absolutely.
So
and
thank you.
We're always here. And Wayne, I still see your hand up. I'm gonna be right with you as I'm wrapping up this question with Rafa. We're always going to be here to support you, because the fact of the matter is that sometimes growth causes confusion. And without the proper mentorship, you're going to get distracted or discouraged. And that's okay as well. We're always here. I see a lot of people still putting messages in the chat box that they thank so much for the clarity of, let me see, Marjorie put something there. She said, I'm so happy for this session. The thought of getting everything perfect has stalled me, right? And I'm back on track. Thanks everyone for your motivation. KT, thanks for your expertise and guidance. You're very welcome. Again, everybody is going through the same struggles on this platform. And this is the reason why showing up for the group call is an excellent idea. If you cannot show up for the group call, then go back and look at a library of great content. Other business professionals are struggling just like you. So Rafa, stand on your belief of what you're doing. Listen, you are totally engulfed in your industry, and you walk it, talk it every single day, bro. That's just a product that you have on the side that is supporting everything else that you believe about in your ideology. I want you to talk about that. I want you to put that in your signature programs, because that ain't gonna do nothing but help you make more money.
My guy, thank you so much. It's going in there.
And we're determined to help you get the biggest bag possible when you deal with us.
Man, I'm with you all the way. You know that.
Talk to you real soon.
Thank
all right?
you, bro.
Okay.
Yes,
peace.
sir. Thank you, bro.
All right.
Bye.
Wayne, talk to me, brother. What's going on with you?
Coach,
What's going on, boss?
listen, I just want to say something. I'm gonna say something that you did, and when I say, I just want to hear your thoughts on what I say here.
Okay.
But I remember when I first, one of the things that after listening to this call tonight, I thought about how I was when I first got onto this platform. I was like all fired up. Then I hit a spot where I just started dragging and seemed like I was just running around in circles, chasing my tail, so to speak. All right. And then I'm looking, and I remember when I first submitted my signature programs to you.
Okay.
And it was it took a while to get them to you. When I first submitted what I designed, you took it, and here's where part of my question is. I don't know what you did to it, but when you gave it back to me, it intimidated me so bad that I probably was intimidated to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't producing.
Excuse me.
Okay. Now, lately though, when I'm preparing for the video demo, trying to get that thing ready and get to the point where you see that I got command over my content, as I read these things over, and what you gave me, I read it over and over and over again out loud.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much meat in what you gave me that I'm writing notes. I'm writing powerful talks just from within what you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm.
And so I'd like to know how you did it, what you used, because what I gave you and you gave back, they're really not that close. But you took my stuff and you redid something to it, and when you gave it back, I can't. It's just incredible the way I got it. And now I'm getting into reading it over and over again out loud. It's so perfect for what I wanted to do from the beginning.
Yeah, and guess what, Wayne? Well, thank you for the observation. And a lot of this stuff is retroactive. Like when I'm explaining it to you, what you should be doing, you're as you can see, you're not the only one. I think, Wayne, a lot of times what happens is we think we're the only one that's struggling with that particular challenge. And we think we're the only one that has that frustration. But the fact of the matter is that you can hear that a lot of people have that frustration.
That's why I'm sharing. That's why I'm sharing this. Yeah.
Yeah. They overthink it. And I knew what you wanted to say from the beginning when I was talking to you about leadership. And then, you just wanted to get it right. A lot of times, Wayne, we're holding on too tight, then the universe is not going to open up the free flowing energy that we need to get the creativity going in the direction that we need to go in. That's why you need to let go. You need to let go. It was hard for you to let go because, and this is why this is a valuable lesson that you learned. I had to learn it as well. Perfectionism kills your goals. Perfectionism kills your dreams. So you have to learn to employ relaxed control. I used to suffer from perfectionism when I was in my early 20s. I was not open to it being done another way. Well, there's all kinds of ways to score a touchdown. You can run it in there. You can recover a fumble and run it in the end zone. You can do a pass. You can do a flea flicker. I don't care how many times, whatever you have to do. Did we score?
Yeah.
And then all that matters is that you get the score. That's the only thing that matters. So you have to be open to your marketing language, upgrading your marketing language. Look at what you just told me, Wayne. You said you are now saying your signature programs out loud every single day. All of you, if you are not saying your signature programs out loud, Wayne, tell them why is the reason why you want to say your signature programs out loud. Why?
Because, well, one thing, because you need to become really familiar with them. Because like you said, the more you do it, sometimes when you're speaking, it's going to come out. There's things that you're going to see. There's going to see things that you're going to see in the wording and in the messaging that is going to create your brain is going to formulate some thoughts, some ideas, some new way to communicate certain things. And like I'm telling you, sometimes just between the beginning of a sentence and a comma, I'd create an outline on one, and you know what I'm saying? I can create outlines on some, just in some of the sentences. And that's what I do. That's what I've been doing, and then making notes from there. So there's so much meat in there that this gonna last for years.
It is. and this is the reason why what you're doing is you're starting to discover that your message, it's starting to click and make sense to you now. Okay, before I joined Speaker Focus, I didn't have the verbiage, but then KTR taught me how to put the words together, and that those beautiful word sequences that you now have inside of your signature programs, those power phrases, and you're speaking with authority now. You're speaking with more confidence because you have more command. Remember that COC formula, command over content. That's what it's all about. And now you're discovering new signature programs and new ideas within the parameters of what I gave you back. And that means that it's just an alignment, Wayne. And I'm glad that you don't have to stress over your signature programs anymore. There's always, look, all you're doing on this platform, and you know it, that you're just exchanging one challenge for another. Once you get one under control, now you got to move on to the next stage. It's like that movie called what was that movie that Bruce Lee was in, where he had to keep going up a level, and he had to keep fighting people until he got to the top level when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was up there waiting for him. He kept kicking butt on every single level until he had to get rid of the last obstacle, and then he was victorious. So that's what this platform is all about, of you taking it step by step and making sure you don't skip any process, and then having the command over it, and then moving forward is what we want you to do. We want you to feel great about what you're doing and believe in yourself.
Coach, let me tell you, I was reading through this the other day, and in fact, I take my car and I go out and I sit down by the river, and I just sit and I go over and over. I saw myself in front of a crowd on fire, and it was really, really helped. I could see the whole deal. And so this is like, but because I understand it now, I'm in it, and I understand that I got the understanding of differently than I had before. So I'm like, it's like I said, there's tons of meat in here that's gonna last me a long time to really be able to help people.
Yeah, you got enough in there to definitely last you a long time. Just make sure you keep practicing. Make sure you keep your support tickets lately have been increasing, and that's good. That means that whenever you have questions, that means you're getting the assignments done, and that means we can help provide the feedback to advance you through the modules, and then teach you how to get out into the marketplace and connect with these coordinators and start making money. And Wayne, we're going to be here. We're going to be here. You can rely on us, and we're glad to have you on our platform because you work hard. I know you're hard on yourself, but you've been working hard. You've got past the toughest part, and you should have the confidence at this stage in the coaching program to tackle anything that's ahead of you. And you can always call your little brothers to get some help.
Right. And one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I remember I told you that I had a neighbor who is a conference coordinator.
Yes.
Just real quick, in conversation, she did say she's going to spend some time with me and she's going to help me out. But she also said that $5,000 for a keynote speak is the low end of what they get.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the money's there.
Yeah.
The money's there. The qualified conference coordinators, they have the budget. I know it's difficult for you to be able to see it, but you just got confirmation and you just heard that the low side, and this is the why some of you with your expertise and where you are, some of you, the lowest you should be accepting is 5,000. But when you have a wealth of experience, I mean, you just heard, Alex has just booked Trevor for 15K to go speak overseas in Australia. And that's for a half-day program, which is typically in the States is $7,500. Well, that fee doubles when you go overseas. And they learn all of this stuff on a platform. It's called How to Have the Proper Pricing Conversation, so you're not getting underpaid. Keep your nose to the on the grind, man. Just keep your head down, Wayne, and keep working hard, brother. You're gonna get there.
Thanks, Coach. I know it. I'm going. I'm on it.
Very welcome, man. Okay. Talk to you real soon.
Yep.
Okay. I believe that we are a little bit past 8. It went past the time, which we don't mind doing. Thank you so much for all of the participation, the questions that you have. I want to thank you. I got to say, it's not easy to show up on a group call and, to be vulnerable, to share your experiences, to share your mistakes. Let me tell you something. Last but not least, the more messing up that you do and the more vulnerable that you're willing to be, and the more you're willing to share your experiences, the more you're going to be able to serve other people in a better capacity. So I know it's not easy, but this is a private platform. Nobody else is hearing this or seeing this, except for the people on our coaching platform for their benefit. So when you do share, you are benefiting other people. As you can see, you don't have to sit in the pain. That's not what you invested in this program for and invested in yourself. You don't have to sit in the pain. We're here to help you. We're not here to make you feel embarrassed or about sharing. Sharing is caring. More you share, the more I can help build a bridge from where you are right now versus where you want to go. All you got to do is follow the system. It's there for a reason. I'm Kevin T. Robertson, CEO of SpeakerFocus.com. Proud to be here with you, rocking with you every single Monday. Man, the group calls are getting better and better and better. And that is because you are sharing, you are on the platform, and you show up, and you got these great questions that you're answering, and we are so happy to answer them for you. On behalf of the entire team of SpeakerFocus.com and CTO Auston Troyer, we will catch you right here, same time, same place next week. Enjoy the rest of your week and keep working hard. I love all of you.